Hi Leo, welcome to October. This is Teresa from Tarot by Tea. And before I start your reading, I want to call in some good energy and create some sacred space for this reading. And I want to say thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. And also thank you for those who have taken the time out to leave comments. And for those who've ordered readings, thank you. I appreciate your support and choosing me. I hope I was a help to you. And if anyone is new watching the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy these videos. So let's get on with the reading. We're having a new moon in Libra, which is favorable to your sign, on October 8th, and a full moon in Taurus at the end of the month on the 24th. And we'll get into that later. But meantime, let's see what Leo needs to know about love and relationships. What does Leo need to know about love and relationships? For the month of October. What does Leo need to know about love and relationships for the month of October? What is coming up for October for Leo? The Queen of Swords, the King of Cups, the Judgment, the Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, the Temperance, the Ace of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. Interesting. Okay. So you're starting out the month as the Queen of Swords energy. Maybe you've been feeling... So you're either dealing with an air sign. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And maybe you feel like there's someone in your life who's being very harsh with you, or judgmental, or maybe too independent. You can't get close to this person. You want to get close to this person, but they're like distant. They have walls up. You can't break down. It could also be you. Maybe you've been you're acting like the Queen of Swords. Maybe you've been hurt in the past and you're not you're being very independent. You don't ask for anyone's help. You're afraid to get involved with anyone. Maybe you are looking toward the future, so that's a good thing. You're not so much dwelling on the past, but maybe you're judging the future harshly, because the Queen of Swords can sometimes be a little bit judgmental. So maybe you have to be a little bit more lenient in the way you're looking at the world with too critical of an eye. Maybe you have to be a little bit more lenient with people. So if you've had a falling out with someone, because I feel like with this Judgment card, there's someone that you need to forgive. You need to work on establishing a relationship with someone, but it may involve either you forgiving them or they forgiving you. There's like an element of forgiveness involved. The King of Cups, this could be someone you're dealing with who could be a water sign. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is a person who has very deep emotions, but they don't always show it. But they have a healing quality. They're someone that you can really talk to, and you can tell them everything, and they just understand. They're very calm. They have a way of calming you down. This person could be a counselor even, someone who's a counselor or a healer in some capacity. Maybe you're being too independent. Maybe you need to go and talk to someone and not try to solve everything on your own. Maybe you need to let your guard down and let someone else help you. So I feel like with the Judgment card here in the past as the basis of your problem or the situation, that you are having a wake-up call. You've had some type of an awakening or spiritual awakening. You're kind of realizing that you need to make some changes in your life. You're seeing the truth about your life, which is a good thing. And so that's prompting you to really make some changes, either to your health, like maybe taking, having eating better or exercising, or just releasing some of the habits that you've had that are self-destructive. So whatever you're doing that you feel like you need to change about yourself, you're really evaluating and making changes and working hard on yourself, and you're feeling stronger. So you're realizing that nothing is going to happen in my life unless I make it happen. You're not just sitting around waiting, but you also realize that you have to make some changes. So if you've had a falling out with someone, it's possible that you need to come together and meet each other halfway, because you have this Temperance card in the future. I feel like you have to drop your guard and be more vulnerable and talk about how you feel, and maybe, agree to compromise. Maybe there was some type of imbalance in the past in a relationship, because you have the Six of Pentacles here. That's a card of someone who's very giving, who works in a career that helps others, wants to help others. So either you've been doing too much giving in a relationship. It's a balance between give and take. So one of you might have been doing all the giving, one of you might be doing all the taking. So if that's you doing all the taking, you have to step up to the plate and start doing some more giving. If it's the other way around, then you have to set some boundaries and tell the person you're dealing with, hey, I can't be the one doing all the work. This is a joint effort, we have to balance things out, because this is a card of balance, this is a card of balance. So I feel like in a relationship there was some type of imbalance that happened, and some things got, so what happens when there's an imbalance in a relationship and one person's doing all the giving, that person then starts to feel resentful. They feel like, I'm always doing this every time, what about me? What about my needs? So if you feel like your needs weren't being met, or the other person feels like their needs weren't being met, then you start fighting over petty stuff, So if you could fix that imbalance, you could make the relationship work again. And you have the Nine of Cups here in the future. So the Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment card. So if you're wanting to create a new beginning with someone, or create better balance in an existing relationship, you can do that, because the Temperance card is a card of compatibility. So you could be dealing with someone that you're very compatible with on a basic level, but maybe one of you has been working, maybe your partner, because the Temperance card is like work-life balance, finding the middle way, finding the balance, meeting each other halfway, seeing things from the other person's perspective. And sometimes Leo, you're a fixed sign, so you could be stubborn. You may not want to give in to someone else. So you have a lot of pride. So if someone's been telling you, you need to do this and that, you may be like, no, I'm fine. I'm not giving in. Things have to go my way. Well, these cards are saying that you have to be open to another person's perspective. Drop your guard a little bit. Don't be so rigid. Try to meet the person. Try to see things from another person's perspective. So, maybe your partner has some issues and you've been avoiding them or not noticing them. And they need your help, or they need more input from you, or you could be working all the time. You could be focused on one thing and neglecting other things. Maybe you're neglecting a relationship because you're busy on some goal that you want to achieve. So this is a card about work-life balance, relationship balance, meeting people halfway. It's also a card of the Archangel Michael. So you're being guided spiritually. There is spiritual guidance there for you if you accept it, if you're willing to ask for it. The angels always want to work with us, and the angels are here to protect us, even from ourselves. So if you ask for the guidance of Archangel Michael, and you ask for, spiritual protection and guidance, you can get it. But I think it's going to involve you dropping. I think you're dealing with someone who's very compassionate, who has a very big heart, and who really loves to give. But you may be keeping people at a distance. It's like you're afraid to let someone in. You don't want to you're not open to love. You have to be more open Meet someone halfway. You can't expect them to always make the first move or come to you. Leo has a tendency to do that. You know, come to me. I don't have to do, like, I'm not going to call you. You call me. Or I'm not going to come and visit you. You come and visit me. You may have to reach out more and show that you care as well. And with the Nine of Cups, that's a wish fulfillment. You can get what you want. And you have this Ace of Pentacles here. This is a card of a new beginning that can bring you great, you know, it can bring you stability and security, even money. And this is a time card that relates to December, January, February. So I feel like sometime in January, you're going to start to see the results of whatever you've... some partnership is going to start to bring back... is going to start to show results. So if you're, especially on a work situation, if you started a project and you're not sure where it's going to go or if it's even going to be a success, it will be a success. But it will be a success through compromise and through working diplomatically with both sides. You can't be rigid and say, no, it's always got to be my way. You have to learn how to give as well as receive. You have the King of Wands in your environment. So you could be dealing with another fire sign, or you could be dealing with someone who could be a strong personality as well. You know, you might butt heads with someone because you're both trying to get your way. But the Three of Wands shows, you know, this shows partnership and things coming back. You know, success, reward for the effort that you've expended, and also financial support. The only thing you have to watch out for is the Seven of Swords. This is like the thief card or the sneaky card. So I feel like, I don't know if one of you is not being transparent. If you're hiding anything from a partner, you want to be honest. And, like, don't say one thing to somebody and then say something else to someone else. Like, you want to be honest about, and usually Leo's fire signs are honest. So if you don't feel that it's you who's being the dishonest, it might be that your partner's not expressing how they really feel. Maybe they're avoiding the situation too, especially if you're dealing with a water sign. Water signs have a tendency to avoid conflict, so they don't always speak up when they're upset. So someone may be upset about something and they're not telling you. And they're working behind the scenes to solve a problem, but maybe not in the best way. Like, sometimes the Seven of Swords can mean, you know, gossip. Someone's talking behind your back. You know, like they may be like, oh, I love you, and then they complain to their best friend about you, you know. Oh, that, you know, person, you know, blah, blah, blah. I hate it when they do blah, blah, blah. Or it could be that someone is taking credit. You may feel like someone's taking credit for your work in a work situation. Like you've done all this work and, you know, things are starting to take off. And now someone's taking the credit or wants to take the credit for everything that you've done. So just be aware of that. That's a potential with the Seven of Swords. There's always like that sneaky energy where someone's like, while you're distracted, they're stealing from you. Like you may feel someone stealing from you in some way or not being honest. So communication is going to be important in October. You want to get at the truth. So just if it's you who's not being honest or not facing the truth about a situation, that's your road to success. Face the truth, learn to compromise, make changes. If it's someone else, then communication will bring that up too. Have a talk with someone. So let's see what the astrology is doing. Yep, you have a new moon in the 3rd house in Libra on October 8th. So this could involve contracts. So if you're signing a contract when Venus is retrograde, you want to make sure that, especially because Neptune is somehow connected to this situation, and it's in your 8th house, which is the house of money that you get from other people, like inheritance, funds, taxes. So if you're expecting some type of financial support, you want to make sure that whatever you're signing on, that you check all the details. Because I feel like there might be some hidden clause or hidden There's some deception involved in an agreement. You want to be careful with contracts in October. Saturn is in your 6th house, so you're working really hard. Saturn in the 6th house, you feel like a slave to your job. You're doing all this work. But with Neptune in the 8th, there may be some shady, fuzzy math going on with finances. So if you're expecting an inheritance, or you're expecting a loan, or expecting money coming in from, not money you earn, but money that you inherit or get from, like a loan from the bank or something like that. Check all the details. Make sure that you know what you're signing up for. Make sure that everyone's being transparent. You have Uranus. Uranus is opposing Mercury. Uranus in the 10th opposing Mercury in the 3rd. Uranus is near, very, very near. It's in Taurus. It would be normally in your 9th, but it's so close. It's an out of sign opposition. So definitely this is bringing up contracts, discussions with, something that's involving your career path, some unexpected developments that involve some type of contract. So if someone hasn't been honest with you, you may, if you're about to sign a contract, if you could wait till December, that would be best. But if you have to sign something with Venus retrograde, you may not get the money that you think you're going to get, or they might be presenting they might be presenting a rosy picture, like, yeah, if you invest in this thing, it's going to bring all these returns. With Neptune there, you want to be careful, because it may be presented in a more rosy picture than what it really is. So just be careful with contracts. And the 3rd house also rules relatives, like brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts. So if there's some kind of legal problem that comes up that involves your immediate relatives, your siblings, you just want to make sure that everyone's being transparent before you sign on the dotted line. Because whatever you sign, Saturn is trining this Uranus. So whatever you're signing, whatever has to do with your career, it's going to be in place for a long time. So you want to make sure that you check all the details, read the fine print. Now, the full moon happens in Taurus, and that's also in your 10th house. So this is like a culmination in your career, where you might get unexpected recognition because Uranus is there. But the moon in your 10th house, that can mean fluctuations in career, like instability. So you might get like some type of curveball. Just be prepared. There might be a curveball that comes up around the time of the full moon. Maybe something's going on at home because you have the Sun and Venus in the 4th house. So you might be busy, beautifying your home at this time. Maybe the unexpected thing in your 10th house is that you're changing your status. You're deciding to commit to a relationship. Because the 10th house could be career. It could also be, you're going from one state, you're going from single to married, or from married to divorced. It's just a change in status, a change in how you're seen in the world. Saturn in your 6th house, that affects work. It could also affect health. So if you've been working too hard, it may be affecting your health. So you want to take care, rest. Don't overdo it. You want to do the work, but you may be feeling like a slave to your job. And maybe that's affecting your relationship. Maybe you're not giving enough time to a relationship because you're too busy working. Because the Temperance card can mean that too. Work-life balance. So I feel like there are issues to work out in a relationship. And you can get what you want. But you're going to have to balance that work and play because you have career things going on too. And this full moon is also squaring the North Node. So you're being called to be yourself. You're being called to express the real you. To do that, you may have to make some changes in relationships because the 7th house is where the South Node is. And that's, maybe you've been putting others' needs first and you've been neglecting your own needs. If that's the case, you may have to say, you know what, I need more me time. I need, this relationship is not fulfilling me. I need you to give me more. You know, so you have to work out. There's definitely an imbalance in the give and take. But you're being called to express your creative self. You know, the Leo, you're the star. You need to star in your own life. You need to do something fun. You need to do something fulfilling. So if your current situation is not giving you that, whether it's work or relationship, you're going to have to work something out. You're going to have to negotiate. Especially since we're under this Libra energy. That's the card, that's the energy of negotiation. Win-win, creating win-win situations. It's not the card of my way and there ain't no highway. So if you've been operating along those lines, you're going to run into problems with other people. So you can't sacrifice everything for a relationship or everything, to get what you want. You're going to have to kind of give and meet each other halfway. And if you can do that, then you're assured success. So especially with this full moon, it usually brings the truth to the surface. So if somebody's not being transparent, if there's some kind of deception going on, that's going to come out. So you don't want that to be you. That's why you want to be transparent. You want to be honest. And if someone's not being honest with you, that will come out as well. And you'll, decide about that. But it looks good with the Nine of Cups. You have the potential to make a success of whatever you're working on. If you just heed that advice of, don't be a martyr. Don't sacrifice everything for a cause. Make sure your needs are getting met as well. Make sure it's a win-win deal if you're signing on the contract. If you're signing any contracts, make sure it's win-win. Make sure the other person's being transparent. And make sure, you're seeing the truth. You're not avoiding sweeping things under the rug. Because they're going to come out at the full moon. So you want to make sure whatever comes out is not going to hurt you. So that's my forecast for October, Leo. I hope you have a wonderful October. Happy Halloween. If you want a private reading, you can just check the link in the description box and it'll take you to my website and we can get you on the schedule. In the meantime, have a wonderful October and I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.